Khan, shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Shalom, beloved Akim and Akwath. Let's just buy on back again to the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and I just want to get into a brief live stream. All right, pretty much revisiting what we were speaking about this morning through the spirit. I feel like I have a little more to say regarding Pete Hegseth and the rhetoric he was speaking on that podium regarding the regime, the Trump regime, and they'll track you down and they'll delete you. If you have something to say regarding the Babylonians, or if you threaten them, all right, or if you delete them, which I get it. But needless to say, as far as these individuals, man, Esau, Evil E, all right, this dude has been on a reign of terror since his inception, bro. All right, and again, I was making a mention earlier that he's quick to call, the men of the Lord, man, from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, bro. All right, and that's like-minded men pushing the same doctrine, the true gospel. All right, calling us domestic teas because we're telling the truth regarding the Bible and who he is, right? But in actuality, this dude's an international terrorist, bro. Okay, and we're gonna prove it through the spirit, right? But when you get the definition, bear with me. When you get the definition of international terrorist, right? This is the definition, right? It says international terrorism involves violent, dangerous, and illegal acts committed by groups or individuals influenced by foreign organizations or nations. All right, in this case, it's a nation, right? The nation of Edom, designed to coerce civilian populations or governments across national boundaries. It aims to further it aims to further ideological, political, or religious goals, frequently targeting multiple countries, bro. Now, real quick, ideological, right? Didn't this dude push his, when you get the definition of ideological, check it out. All right, based on or relating to a system of ideas and ideals, especially concerning economic or political theory and policy. He pushes this on all nations, starting with God. Okay? He pushed this on God first and foremost, bro. He made it seem like when he came over here, he benefited us, man. No, man, we had a well-functioning, well-oiled machine of a system going on before you came. Okay? Real quick, and let me get this real quick.
Ideological.
Right. He's pushed ideological theory on every nation, bro. What would he do if you didn't want to roll with him? Right? He'll send economic hitmen. Okay? He's been doing this since his inception, bro. He's been doing these things, man. But now things are not panning out for him. Real quick. Political, right? Look at religious goals, bro. Now we know he was you have the Crusades. Right? Again, he was pushing on God first and foremost. And then he pushed this whole Renaissance Christianity throughout all four corners of the earth. That's why you have something called the U.S. Holy See. Now, real quick, let me just get that real quick. Now, when you get this, not to switch topics, And when you go into the Holy See relations, right? Let me see something real quick. Now, the U.S. Holy See is the universal government of the Catholic Church and operates from Vatican City State, which is one of the unclean frogs. You can read about in Revelation 16, right? The Vatican. Salakia, Aki Amenakwath, hold on, bear with me. Bear with me, hold on. Let me make sure the sound is still good. Real quick, he's pushed. Real quick, he's pushed. Okay, sound's back on. So like I had gotten the phone call. Forgive me, it was one of my brothers. I had to get that. He's pushed this. So like I had gotten the phone call. Forgive me, it was one of my brothers. I had to get that. He's pushed this. Damn, no, Satan's on the move now. Bear with me, Aki Amenakwath. Hold on. Let me just set this up real quick to the spirit. Forgive me for that. Now, one of my brothers called me real quick. I had to get that phone call. Forgive me. But now, like I was saying, right? So, the U.S. Holy See, right? Going back to, we were making the point how he pushes, being that he's an international terrorist, right? He also pushes his religious goals, all right? And we had mentioned the U.S. Holy See. Now, going back to that, now the U.S. Holy See, right? The U.S. Holy See is the universal government of the Catholic Church and operates from the Vatican City State. Again, that's one of the unclean frogs you read about in Revelation 16, right? A sovereign, independent territory. The Pope is the ruler of both Vatican City State and the Holy See, right? The Holy See, as the supreme body of government of the Catholic Church, is a sovereign juridical entity under international law. Okay, so all denominations you got coming out of Roman Catholic Church stem out of the U.S. Holy See relations, bro, via the Vatican. All right, Islam, all that. Okay, now you got sellout Israelites as well associated with that, but that's another topic for another time. But the point we're making here is that this is just another tentacle Esau used, right, to gain influence and to ultimately bring forth terror if you don't comply. Okay, now real quick. Now, when you go to, again, if you don't comply, the way Esau gets down, if you don't comply, you die, bro. That's how Esau gets down. Now, real quick, when you go to Revelation chapter 6, and verse 4, it reads this. And there went on another horse that was red, right? Horse represents power. The red represents Esau. Genesis 27, right? Upon 25, excuse me. Genesis the 25th chapter. When he was born, he was red all over, right? Because he's a clean leper. He's cursed with the curse of leprosy. That the same mark that Cain was given, it manifested on Esau upon his birth. All right, now check this out. And there went on another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Okay, to take peace from the earth, bro. Hence why. And we got some information. This dude has been at war 90% of the time since its inception. We're gonna pull the receipt. All right, check it out. And that they should kill one another, man. All right, and there was given unto him a great sword, right? And they've killed each other again. The Spanish Wars, French-American Wars, right? The War of 1812, right? When they warred against the Brits. All right, these world wars, World War I, World War II. You see? All right, and it was given, and there was given unto him a great sword, man. all right, which is his blessing, which he's going to live by that. So he's been living by it since the beginning. This is why he couldn't help himself, all right, through Trump, okay, to descend upon Iran, man. Unbeknownst to them, this was a big mistake, because Babylon's gonna run out of ammo, man. All right, I don't know if anybody told you, but Babylon's gonna run out of ammo. Iran done planned and plotted, all right, and set this thing up strategically to where they planned on going for the long haul. They planned on going for the long run. All right, they ain't playing for no short-term war, you know. But anyways, let's go here real quick. So I typed in, bear with me. Now I typed in real quick, how long has America been at war? Hold on. Let me make sure this is still flowing, bro. Make sure this is still flowing, bear with me. Yeah, it's still going. All right, just gotta make sure Esau's messing with live streams. All right, so real quick, right? So I typed in, how long has America been at war? All right, this is AI overview. It reads this: the United States has been involved in military conflicts for over 90% of its history since 1776, with estimates suggesting it has been at war for roughly 225 to 230 years out of its 250-year existence, bro. Okay? 90% of the time. The nation has only experienced less than 20 years of total peace. Okay? Which is, this is echoing Revelation 6 and 4. Of course, peace isn't going to be in existence on any type of longevity throughout the course of Esau's rulership. He's the harbinger of death. He's the man of war. He's a violent, reprobate man. And this is heavy, right? Because here it is, as a nation, during the time of Solomon, all right, because of our beloved king, warrior, prophet David, the father of Solomon, we had a 40 years of peace, okay? And then we ended up getting knocked off because Solomon went off. But needless to say, this dude's been in rulership 4 times over, longer than us, okay? Right, 40, 80, yeah, man. All right, and only 20 years out of the 250 years, there's been some type of peace, moment of peace. All right, on top of that, another reason why there hasn't been peace is because pursuing the scripture. Let me go get this real quick. Remember, he's the wicked. So the Lord got a controversy with this dude. Right? Very quick. Let me get this real quick when we go back. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 48 and verse 22, and it reads this: there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. All right, so it makes sense when you start to dissect it. All right, but what we're honing in on is the reality of Esau being an international terrorist, bro. All right, and we got receipts on him. You see? He's gonna draw a blank when he tries to, weaponize certain talking points we have regarding the doctrine. He's gonna try to paint us as these, Black Hebrew Israelites / Islamic and all this other crazy shit. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he has no ammo regarding us being DTs. He's gonna have to make it up. He's gonna have to use CGI and have some type of event, make believe some type of event. You know what I mean? But here it is. We're going on his platform via Google, showing you that he is an international terrorist, bro. There's more. Look it. Continuing on. Right? It says, the nation has only experienced less than 20 years of total peace with no decade in U.S. history free from conflict, bro. So there wasn't one span of 10 years. A decade is 10 years. Okay? With peace with this guy. Okay? Come on now. Why do you think that is? Exactly what you're seeing right now. All right? Exactly what you're seeing him do in Venezuela. It's just as him. Okay? Look it. That's why when you go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, what is it? The 13th chapter? Or 14th chapter, rather? All right, the earth is going to rejoice when this nigga gets sat down. You see? He's the schism on the planet. You see? He's the one that needs to be, he's the insubordinate, out of control, uncontrollable student in class that needs to get kicked out of class, bro. You know? He's completely intolerable. Look at frequency of conflict. Check this out. Various analysis indicate that the U.S. has been a state of war or foreign military intervention for approximately 93% of its history. This nigga's an international terrorist. Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Look, frequency of conflicts. Various analysis indicate that the U.S. has been in a state of war or foreign military intervention, all right, for approximately 93% of its history. While only 5 formal declared wars, such as World War II and World War I and the Mexican-American War, are officially recognized, the vast majority of time involves authorized military force, territorial or overseas conflicts, bro. Okay, look it. The conflicts range from the Revolutionary War, the Indian Wars, and the Civil War, to the World Wars, Korea, Vietnam, and modern operations in the Middle East. As we stand today, he's continuing to pursue the East, Western Asia, right? It says this: the U.S. has never gone a full decade without engaging in some form of military action. Okay? Essentially, the United States has been in near constant state of military activity since its founding. This nigga Esau is an international terrorist, bro. Okay? He's an international terrorist, bro. You see that? And this is why we've been commanded to prophesy against this dude. All right, we've been commanded to, man. We have to prophesy against him, man. All right, somebody gotta let him know that he's gonna be stopped. You know, because we know already through prophecy that, you know, who can make peace with who can make war with the beast, as it's written in Revelations. Ultimately, it's gonna take the Lord, as he's doing now, to, you know, allow the weak to become strong, and, you know, put the spirit on Babylon's allies, and, you know, continue to have things, you know, turn up over there in the middle, in Western Asia, and the drawing Russia, and the drawing China, and drawing, you know what I mean? It's going to be a process until ultimately the Lord Yahweh Shai comes during the midst of this big conflict, you know? But you know, this nigga has been able to be a golden cup in the Lord's hand. And just like Pharaoh, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai raised this dude up. Okay? But just like how Moses was telling him, okay, about, just like how Moses was telling Pharaoh, you know, let my people go, thus saith the Lord. You know, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. Them twin plagues came upon Egypt, bro. And ultimately, Pharaoh got destroyed, bro. You see? But he was too puffed up in his mind and deceived and delusional to see the reality of his fate. You see that? Now, real quick, I want to get this real quick, right? This is the book. This is the book of Ezekiel, because I was making that point, right? Look at this, get this real quick. Ezekiel, chapter 35. And so I'm going to start from the top. It reads this in the Good News Bible. This hits hard. All right. The Lord Yahweh spoke to me. Mortal man, he said, denounce the country of Edom. All right. We know Esau is Edom. You see? Look at, tell the people what I, the sovereign Lord Yahweh, am doing. I am your enemy, mountains of Edom. Okay, this is what the Lord's saying. I am your enemy, mountains of Edom. I will make you desolate. I will make you a desolate waste. I will leave your cities in ruins and your land desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord Yahweh. And again, this is going to come in its perfection via the third world's woe. And obviously the visitation of the chariots with Yahweh Shai, because they're going to be used. These chariots are going to be spraying concentrated heat. That's something that we don't speak often enough. We don't speak about often enough. Those chariots are going to be spraying, man. They're going to be spraying shit down. All right? Pursuing it, what's that, 2nd Ezra 13? them chariots can get it done. Khan, I'll probably grab that too, brother. Let me continue here. Let me see here. Verse 5. You were Israel's constant enemy, and let her people be slaughtered in the time of her disaster, the time of final punishment for her sins. So then, as surely as I, sovereign Lord Yahweh, am the living power, death is your fate, and ye cannot escape it. You are guilty of murder, and murder will follow you, bro. Okay, again, this is Ezekiel 35, in the Good News Bible. And why that hit so hard? Because remember what dude said? Let me get this real quick. Bear with me. I'm going to get a little more after this, but let me just get this real quick. Bear with me, Akiyama Nakwa. Remember this right here?
Our leadership and troops. Well, good morning. We just finished an update with Admiral Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, across the CENTCOM AOR, our leadership and troops, as you would expect, doing a fantastic job. 2 days ago, under the direction and direct orders of President Donald J. Trump, the Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precise aerial operation in history. For 47 long years, the expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chants of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Now, if I may, right, granted, say some of that stuff is true, based off the information we just brought out, okay, regarding Babylon's history, though, okay, this dude's a hypocrite, and everybody that's with him, that's joined unto him. You see? Because based off Babylon's history, come on, man, they've been going at it for 90% of the time. They've been making war with everybody, bro. This is how we know that this dude and the rest of these Edomites, they're full of crap. These people are full of crap, bro. Okay? We got the receipts. Anyways.
And armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carried the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult. It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you.
Yeah, remember that? So now, let's go back to Ezekiel 35 and continue. See, Esau forgot that there's a higher power that you're going to have to answer to. You see, there's a higher power that's going to come meet you up at the straight gate. Now, he makes it seem as if, you know, the Iranians and these Middle Eastern, you know, whatever, are just attacking them. You know, are just attacking their embassies and just this, that, and the third. Nah, man, they're defending themselves, bro. That's one thing they won't tell you. Bear with me, Salakia. I don't know what that was about. They're defending themselves, man. Okay? Just like how the situation that's going on right now with them killing old boy and his family and everybody else that was with him. All right? And now they're reacting. They're defending themselves now. They're acting in self-defense. You see? But they won't tell you that, though. They'll paint the picture as if they're dealing with a complete, this, you know, what's the word? Boogeyman. You know, evil e's good for slander, man. But anyways, back in the Good News Bible. All right, Ezekiel chapter 35. And the heading read this: Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's punishment of Edom. You see, there's a punishment coming for Edom. You know what I want to do? I want to read verse 5 again and down. You were Israel's constant enemy, and let her people be slaughtered in the time of her disaster, the time of final punishment for her sins. So then, as surely as I, the sovereign Lord Yahweh, am the living power, death is your fate. Okay? So the Lord's telling Esau that death is your fate, man. Death is your fate, my boy. So as much as this dude's so gun-ho, you know what I mean? He's making all these idle threats on our podium with that three-piece suit on with his hair slicked to the side. The Lord got something to say to you too. The Lord got something. The Lord got a counter for you. All right? The Lord said, what? Death is your fate, and you cannot escape it. You are guilty of murder, and murder will follow you, man. All right? And we could take the Lord's, we could take your threat as an idle one versus the Lord's. All right? The Lord is, the Lord, he's him. All right? As we can, Lamentations 3, who is he that saved and they come into pass, and the Lord commanded it not, man. The Lord's the end all be all, bro. As far as what's gonna go down on this movie set. Right, let's go. I will make the hill country of Edom a waste and kill everyone who travels through it, man. This is what the Lord's saying, bro. Look it. I will cover the mountains with corpses, and the bodies of those who are killed in battle will cover the hills and valleys. I will make you desolate forever, and no one will live in your cities again. Then you will know that I am the Lord Yahweh, man. Okay? This is how this thing's gonna end. All right, for evil E. And guess what? Nobody's gonna care, man. All right, when a rubber finally hits the road for you, and you got to answer to all these atrocities that you've done, and no one's gonna be there for you, bro, to care. As it tells us in Isaiah, I'm gonna get this real quick, and we out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14. In verse 5, it reads this: The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked being Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, pursuing the Malachi 1 and 4. And the scepter of the rulers, bro. All right? He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth, bro. So no one's going to be there for your rescue. All right? No one's going to be there to save you. All right? No one's going to be there to lend you a helping hand. Bear with me. I want to just get this real quick. Right, this word hindereth goes into to obstruct, delay, or prevent progress. All right, so no one's going to be there to hold back the terror, all right, that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua has planned for you, bro. Okay? No one's going to hold it back. No, everyone's going to be, hey, the earth is going to rejoice, man. Let me get a little bit more. Right, the whole earth is at rest, Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing, man, upon Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, snatching the scepter out of your hand, man, and stopping you in your tracks, bro. All right? Let me get what the brother put up. Hold on real quick. Shalom to you, beloved Akim and Akwat on the comment board, and I'm going to tune in later. Hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatam. To you, beloved Akim and Akwat. This is from the beloved brother, hopefully of the elect. Kanak, same here. Lord willing. Right? All we can do is hope. We're prisoners of hope. The brother put Psalms 140:1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Beautiful precept, brother. Preserve me from the violent man, evil E. Okay? Which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. Okay? And based off the information we brought out, beautiful precept, beloved Malak. That's heavy. That's beautiful. Perfect. Based off the information we brought out, okay, we can clearly see who that scripture is talking about. Okay? The scriptures, speak expressly, man. You see, what we understand that these mere mortals don't is that everything that's happening on the world stage, everything that's happening in real time, all right, there's a spiritual overtone to it, man. All right? Esau, Edom, is the so-called white man. This is why he has the characteristics he has. All right, this is why Babylon the Great, which is the throne of Esau, okay, / the springboard of wickedness, has a history, has an analysis, all right, when you do your research, as being at war for 90% of its time in existence, bro. All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is an international terrorist, man. Lord willing, you beloved Akim and Akwa will edify Abaratazah. You were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And Lord willing, you were informed. All right? Lord willing, you were informed, man. Hey, keep thee far from the man that has power to kill. Akim and Akwa. Watch out for this guy. Fast as well as pray. Keep your head on the swivel. Pray for shorter days. Babylon is falling. Look what's going on right now in the world, man. Salvation is so close. Hey, we can taste it, man. Let's go. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you beloved Akim and Akwaf were edified. Hey, till next time. Hey, shalom, shalom.